Okay, so I am Andrea Hughes. I'm with Sunbeam Family Services. I am the Senior Engagement Supervisor here at Sunbeam. So I work directly with seniors. I work with caregivers who are caring for loved ones who have Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, any sort of cognitive delay. I also work directly with grandparents raising grandchildren. So the Caregiver Engagement Program, we have a respite program underneath that, and we have caregiver support groups. And so just to reiterate, the respite program is for caregivers who are caring for loved ones who have Alzheimer's, dementia. And we have respite employees who go to the home once a week for 4 hours at a time. There is no cost. Donations are, of course, accepted. And it is until that client no longer wants us. So with grandparents raising grandchildren, which is why you are here, we say GRG because grandparents raising grandchildren is a long bit of words to say. So we have a GRG school supply program, a GRG holiday program, and then support groups. And so the school supply program, some of you may actually have participated in it. It's an application-based program, and so is a holiday. So we purchase school supplies relevant to the grades that the grandchildren are in. We have backpacks and we stuff them full of school supplies, full of resources and fun goodies. And we have this year we had a drive-through event. We handed out these bags. We had tons of resources there. It was almost a one-stop shop kind of deal with the other resources that were there. So you were able to talk to people who you may end up having to wait on the phone for a long time to get to. And so the holiday program is going to be very similar. Just so you know, the application has already closed. We are no longer accepting any more applicants. However, if you are interested in participating next year, please give us a call. I will give you the phone number at the end of this. So the holiday program is application as well. In the past, we would shop specifically for the grandchildren. With COVID, we try and limit our exposure, and we try and limit the exposure for the grandchildren and grandparents. So we are doing gift cards this year. It's a drive-through event, but there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. I may or may not be dressed up. I'm not telling you what I am yet, but it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of fun characters running around. So we're going to have this event. Each grandchild gets a gift card. And it's just a fun time. We're going to have lots of resources, lots of fun things to do. And there will be a little resource area. It is a drive-through event, but people can stop and park and go talk to resources if they want to, just not the drive-through part. And then the support groups, I have six support groups now. I have 2 online, and then I have 1 in each county that we serve, which is Oklahoma, Canadian, Cleveland, and Logan County. So if you are interested in meeting other grandparents raising their grandchildren and just sitting down and talking and just say, you will not believe the stuff we've had to go through this month, let me know, because I facilitate all of these groups. So you will see my beautiful face. And if you want to learn more, you can call me directly. My phone number is area code 405-609-6551. And I can also talk to you about the holiday program as well. I did have CareTrack in there really very briefly. CareTrack is a tracking device. It's a radio frequency transmitter. It's for all ages. So anybody who's prone to wandering and who doesn't drive. So kiddos with Down syndrome, autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that. That is the only program in my department that has a cost to it, but it's a one-time cost and it's on a sliding scale. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely call me and ask me some questions. So I will stop sharing and hand it over to Leela.
Okay, let's see if I can do this, since I messed it up last time.
Oh yes, and questions, as Lisa said in the chat, questions can be posted in the chat. Sorry.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, my name is Leela Baker. I am the founder of Nana's Closet. We help grandparents that are raising their grandchildren with clothes, shoes, and other essentials, like a bed or car seat, whatever you need to get started with your grandchild. We do offer clothes and shoes twice a year, 7 outfits per child with a pair of shoes and whatever else you might need. We are a volunteer basis here, and we are donation based. So we may not have everything that you need, but we will definitely try to get what you need to help with your grandchild. We are in a unique position. We started this in 2018 because we are raising our granddaughter. We received her in 2017. She's 4 years old now. So if you have questions, I know a lot of resources like Sunbeam, OK Cares, like that we're on right now. But if you need something and I don't have it, I can find someone that can help you. And so that's all I have to talk about right now. I know we're in a hurry. So my number's on the screen. If you need me, take a screenshot and call me. And I'm going to stop sharing. Was that fast enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leela. All right, so the next speaker. Sandy, do you want to go next?
Sure. Could I share my screen?
Yes. There should be share screen button at the bottom middle area.
Not there. I'll just go ahead without it because I don't want to waste any time. We started our support group about 9 months ago. Previously, I had a support group about, I hate to say this, it's been over 20 years ago when I worked for the Area Agency on Aging in Tulsa. And that group went on and on and on forever, and I loved it. Back when COVID started, the church that was our host stopped having a room available for us. And so we stopped for a while, and I continued getting lots of phone calls from grandparents that wanted resources or someone to talk to. And so a local agency called the Hub of West Tulsa is now hosting our support group, and Ability Resources is sponsoring it. Ability Resources is an independent living center. We work with people of any age with any disability. And that comes in handy with our support group because a lot of our children have a lot of issues. We have some people from our old group back when we had the support group years ago that have started coming to our new group. We probably have about 7 families that are coming now, and we offer free childcare, which makes it so much easier for all of our families. They seem to really enjoy the support group. Our next meeting is going to be January 4th. We meet once a month right now, and we decided to stop for November and December because of the holidays, and also because I'm going to have some surgery on my eye and I couldn't drive at night, so it seemed like a convenient time to recover from that. Our group meets at 6 o'clock. And we have such a good time together. There's lots of resources that I share with families, but it seems to me that the thing most families are looking for is other people in the same situation they're in. They need someone to talk to that has a 4-year-old and all their friends are traveling and having fun and they have a 4-year-old. And so it really gives them a great opportunity to vent if that's what they need to do, or to learn about other people and how they handle the situation with children. I have kids as old as, I think I have a 15-year-old that's coming, and then there's the youngest child is probably 4, and all in between. And the place that we're meeting has a gym, and it has lots and lots of activities for kids. So I think the kids really love coming there and having a good time while their grandparents get to talk. Basically, I share resources with them. A lot of them did not know there were any resources like TANF or any kind of services for children. And we talk about that. We talk about the situations that come up with the biological children and prison. We have people who have children in prison and how they handle that with the grandkids. There's grandchildren in the group that have lots of different issues, and the families, a lot of them seem to have handled the situations the same way. They all like to have a chance to talk about people who've helped them, counselors that may have helped them, or services that have assisted them in the past. And so I love the way it works. This is one of my favorite groups because they seem to be so grateful for the opportunity to meet with other grandparents and find out that they're not alone. It's kind of funny because a lot of times I'll get the phone calls. My phone number is on the brochure that I was going to share with you, but my phone number is on there, my cell phone number. So they'll call me and they'll say, I feel so bad. I know no one else is going through this, but I have my 3 grandchildren because of whatever. And they're thinking they're the only people in the world in that situation. But when they come to the group, they find out that there's lots of people in that same situation. And so I think it really helps people feel like they're doing okay with what they're doing. And we make a point of letting them know that they're doing a great job by supporting these young children, because a lot of times there's a lot of conflict with individuals about their biological children that are having issues and the grandchildren, and they aren't always certain if they're doing the right thing. And sometimes there's issues with other grandchildren that may not live with them, and they have to figure out how to handle that situation because they are parents to the children that live with them, that they have guardianship of and that they may have had for a long time or will continue to have for a long time. And so we talk about all sorts of issues in our support group. We have people coming from distances because this is the only group I know of in the Tulsa area. So I have some people driving quite a ways to come to our meetings. If anyone has any questions, my name is Sandy Sullivan. My number is 918-381-1931. We meet at the hub. It's called the Northwest Tulsa Hub. It's at 19 South 49th West Avenue in Tulsa. And I'd love to hear from people that have questions about grandparenting. I really appreciate the time. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Sandy. Okay. Rosalind is not here yet. Robin, are you okay with going? You're muted.
Lisa, do you have the slides? Aida sent slides to somebody. No.
I have the intro slides. I don't have a slide for you specifically.
For lifespan, grandparents raising grandchildren. I wonder who she sent those to. Oh, well, anyway, maybe Stephanie, and she's not doing it. I am Robin Boswell, and I work for Sooner Success, and I do respite voucher programming. We have a couple different respite voucher programs, but the one that would be specific to this breakout session would be the Lifespan Respite Voucher Program. And that particular program is a program that is federally funded through the Administration on Community Living out of Washington, D.C., comes down through DHS Aging Services, which is now called CAP. And you guys will probably hear it's Community Living, Aging, and Protective Services. And then it comes to us to actually administer the program. And Nadine Walters, which most of you know or have heard her on this conference, she is the supervisor of our grant, her and Ronell Baker with DHS Aging Services. So with the Lifespan Respite Voucher Program, well, that's COVID. Go to the next one, maybe. Try the next one. Nope, that's not it either. Well, and I can talk about those. You can go back to the COVID one, but I want to just continue with the basic typical vouchers for a grandparent raising a grandchild. It could be, it doesn't have to just be a grandparent. It can be an other relative raising a child as their own. The child does not have to have special health care needs, and the grandparent just must be, or the other relative must be 54 or younger. We don't have an income eligibility. We just have to know that the grandparent is 54 or younger. This program is statewide, and so there's no specific county restrictions at all. And if the grandparent is 55 or older, then we would refer them to the Area Agency on Aging. There is one Area Agency on Aging in every county in the state. So we have the list of the different AAAs, we call them, the Area Agencies on Aging, and we can refer specific to the county that the grandparent needs to be referred to, and we can provide that information. They have no income restrictions either at the AAA for the older grandparents, which 55 isn't really older, but the older I get, the younger that is. And but I know that this sometimes, and I know for lifespan, it's $400 every 4 months that a grandparent or other parent raising a child as their own can receive through vouchers. They can pick the person or program they want to be paid directly by voucher, and they can determine how much they want to spend per voucher, how much they want to pay the respite provider, but they just must stay within the $400 every 4 months. The Area Agencies on Aging, I believe they're doing $300 every 3 months. They may have updated that, but to my knowledge, the last time I did lifespan, it was $300 every 3 months. And a lot of the Area Agencies on Aging can also offer other programming. So any grandparent referred to a AAA should inquire about the other services that they might be eligible for. And I know respite means short break, but I feel like a short break can make a really big impact for grandparents raising grandchildren. They have raised their children, and like you all were saying, or Sandy said earlier, that they have a lot of friends that probably, are a little more footloose than a grandparent raising a grandchild, would be. Also, financially, a lot of grandparents are on fixed incomes, and so they're, depending on their Social Security, and then all of a sudden they have a lot of unplanned expenses in caring for a grandchild or a relative. So we understand that, and we are so glad that our state offers vouchers. I also wanted to mention that there are some other programs in our state that deal with grandparents raising grandchildren that could be resources, such as Generations United. I think they work, do they still work with you some, Andrea? Barbara Johnson?
Yes.
Yes. And so Barbara Johnson Williams is a great contact for Generations United. I think they do advocacy, and I think they work to get legislation and things like that benefiting grandparents. And so Grand Voices is, I think, another name that they go under, and maybe that's the national or that's the local, and Generations United's the larger. But Andrea or I both would have Barbara's contact. There's also Project Grace, and Project Grace is Grandparents Raising America's Children to Excel. And they're here in Oklahoma City. They're also a resource for grandparents. Of course, Nana's Closet is one that, we refer families to and work with on the Caregiver Coalition through OK Cares. I also wanted to mention DDS. And so if you are a grandparent raising a grandchild and they have a special healthcare need, and specifically autism or a developmental disability, DDS also offers respite vouchers, and theirs is $400 to $500 every 3 months. They do have income eligibility that you have to meet, but that's also a program that grandparents could access if they do have a child with a developmental or intellectual disability. And if you want that kind of information, we can post that in chat, or just know that I have it at Sooner Success, and Lisa Simmons, Lisa DeBolt, we could all pass along DDS contact information. We can go to those 2 slides briefly. I know there was educational voucher was on there, and the COVID grant, the COVID voucher. Lifespan, which I mentioned earlier, that's the federally funded respite voucher program. They also are offering a COVID emergency voucher. And so if you're a family caregiver, grandparent raising a grandchild, and you test positive for COVID, then there's, you're going to need extra support and help as you recover and isolate. And so Sooner Success can help assist you with that. You have to prove, of course, that you've tested positive for COVID. But that's something that grandparents should know about. Then also there's educational vouchers. Was that the next slide? Or was that yeah, that's educational vouchers. I know there's not a lot of programming, in-person programming, but even Zoom programming, you may need, if you're a grandparent and you want to attend a support group that's Zoom. I know Andrea's doing a couple Zoom grandparents raising grandchildren programming, and you want someone else to watch your grandchildren while you engage in that support group. An educational voucher, it's $50 for a half day, $100 for a full day. You pick your respite provider, and we can reimburse them directly for after all the vouchers that I've discussed are paid after the care has been provided. We also offer through, I don't think we have a slide for it, but we also offer through the Lifespan respite voucher program emergency vouchers in the amount of $300. Let's say a grandparent needs to attend a funeral out of town or out of state, or they need emergency surgery, or they've been told, you've got to have surgery. You could very easily need extra support and help during that time. And so an emergency voucher could be useful. You pick the respite provider. It can be a family member that lives in the home, even with you, to assist while you recover, or you go out of town and come back. And the $300 could be really helpful in a situation such as that. So that's the Lifespan voucher programs. That's the Lifespan does grandparents raising grandchildren 54 and younger. If you're a grandparent 55 or older, or another relative raising a child as your own, you're 55 or older, we're going to refer you to the Area Agency on Aging. Then we offer the other programming, the emergency voucher if you need extra support, the educational voucher if you're participating in a Zoom or even an in-person training, in-person support group, and they don't offer care for the grandchildren. You could qualify for an educational voucher. And then the COVID grant if you're diagnosed with COVID and you need extra support. So that's those, that's kind of that in a nutshell. Lisa, did I miss anything?
Well, I was just thinking we should mention that if they just need somebody to help them figure out what services might be helpful or to connect with services, that's kind of what Sooner Success does. So they're always welcome to call us, and we'll connect them with somebody in their community to help access whatever resources are available.
Yes, that's right. And you might share that the number, the main number, is it the 271-2710?
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, and so that's either Lisa or Robin, and any of us can help. I really want to push the OK Cares website too. I'm telling caregivers all the time, or the care line, to access those for good resource numbers and phone numbers and resources in your communities as well.
Thank you, Robin.
Yes. And I know I'll give a pitch for the Sunbeam programs. I know I've given Barbara cookies and stuff a few times to take to your support groups. And so I know they're always needing that they're in-person support groups. They're also always needing things like that.
Yes, and right now we still are providing meals. So at the in-person groups, I do provide dinner. That way you guys don't have to worry about thinking about dinner for you and the children, if I have enough. But they have to be, the meals are prepackaged, so they're not, we used to do like pizza and fun stuff like that, but right now they're prepackaged. They're still really yummy. Yes. All right, so I don't think Rosalind is going to join us. I don't think she'll be able to make it. I do have the winner of the gift card, so I will announce that. But first, does anybody have any questions? And you can unmute yourself since it's a small group, or you can also just put it in the chat. Okay. All right. Are y'all ready to hear who won? I feel like I should wait till the last minute. Okay, the gift card winner is Patricia Pitcher. Yay!
Yes.
Congratulations. All right. And what was the process for the gift card still?
They'll be reaching out and sending you the gift cards through the mail.
Thank you.
Right.
Using the address that you used in Eventbrite when you registered. So if that's not the address you want it sent to, please let us know the address you would prefer.
Yay. All right. Nobody. I'm
They'll
sorry.
also be sending everyone an evaluation link through, I'm assuming through Eventbrite. We do encourage everyone to participate in that because that will get you entered for one more gift card before we call this quits.
Mhm. Okay, did anybody else have anything to add? We have about 5 minutes left. So I'll add a little bit because I felt like I was speeding 90 miles an hour through my little presentation. So my support groups, I have 2 online. So they're the 2nd and 4th Thursday night from 6 to 7 p.m. They're on Zoom. You'll get to see me and you'll see my dog most likely because she gets very nosy. And sometimes I like to do fun things while we're talking. Last time I was painting a pumpkin, or 2 times ago. Yeah, 2 times ago I was painting a pumpkin for a little Halloween thing. So it's pretty fun and interactive. And then the in-person ones, of course, are great as well. If you feel comfortable getting out and meeting other people in person. Some of our groups, we don't have the capacity to provide childcare, but we do have 2 groups, that one here in Oklahoma City, that do provide childcare. And you can just email me or call me for more information. I'll let you know which ones and how all that works.
One of the things I've noticed is the children enjoy coming, and one of them has said something like, it's so fun to be around other kids that have grandparents, because sometimes the children kind of get a negative feeling at school or somewhere because their parents are a little different than everybody else's. And so at the grandparent group, all the kids are there with the grandparents. So they really seem to love that group.
Yes. And the kids seem to form really strong bonds with each other.
They do.
I always hear when they come back each month, I hear that they went and had a sleepover, or they went and did this thing at the park. And I love that. I love hearing that everybody's interacting with each other and sharing phone numbers. It's wonderful. Okay. Oh, we do have a question. Are your support groups for just Oklahoma City area, or can you join the Zoom ones from anywhere? You can join the Zoom ones from anywhere. Our support groups my in-person are in Oklahoma City, Moore, Guthrie, Yukon, El Reno. But the online ones, you feel free to join anywhere. I've had somebody from out of state join before, which is fine.
I guess I could mention too, the other respite voucher program I do is through the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. So for families who are receiving wraparound services through their local systems of care, agency may qualify for respite vouchers. And so there are grandparents raising grandchildren and aunts and uncles, and individuals, other individuals and family members, relatives that are the caregivers. And so that's something, if you are in treatment in a local systems of care, you might ask your care coordinator or family support provider about the possibility of, or inquire about the possibility of receiving respite vouchers.
And then Patricia, you said, can I get the information for the Zoom support group? Absolutely. I can either email it to you or I can actually text it to you if that's easier. Just let me know which one. You can message me directly, or you have my email and my phone number. You are more than welcome to call or email me anytime. I'll write your name down so I don't forget. Some of you know I have the memory of a bug. Okay. And again, my direct phone number is area code 405-609-6551. Sorry. Thank you, Patricia. All right, it is almost 3 o'clock. Are you all ready to end the session, and we'll meet you all back in the main room? Okay, thank you everybody for joining us. It was so wonderful to get to talk to you and share our information. Like I said earlier, feel free to reach out to any of us if you need anything, have any questions, any of that.
I'm going to post the information again about our conference sponsors. We really appreciate all their support, and if there was any of them that you didn't get their information, here's one more chance.